G&G Productions presents the Saturday Morning Coaches Show. Get ready for Washington and Marion County basketball as our G&G teams speak to the head coaches and a Washington or Marion County basketball legend. The Saturday Morning Coaches Show is brought to you by Ram Construction, Farmers National Bank, Jesse Insurance, Lebanon Tourism, and Citizens National Bank. The Saturday Morning Coaches Show, a presentation of G&G Productions.
Good morning on this cold Central Kentucky morning. I think when I come in this morning it was about 10 degrees, but it is warm here at Big Papa's, and this is the site of our Farmers National Bank Coaches Show this week. A lot of basketball to talk about that's gone on in the last week, but we're switching up. Last week we had Coach May Stallworth and Coach Stephen Woodson, and this week it's the girls' turn. We got Bree Elder and Scott Elder. No relation, but just coincidental. Then we've got our legend this morning, who I can't think of a better legend to have for me this morning, is Hal's got other obligations, and I got Lena Bramlett, and we'll talk to her. So sit back and relax for the next hour. But we're also going to talk to Big Papa's. James Spalding and his crew this morning is hosting us, and we'll see what they've got going on their menu and some of their updates. So sit back, relax for the next hour, and we'll be here with you. We'll take a break, and then we're going to bring in Scott Elder to get us going this morning. You're watching the G&G Production Saturday Morning Coaches Show, sponsored by Farmers National Bank, live from Big Papa's.
Technology moves fast. Farmers National Bank can help you keep up. We're all walking around with little computers in the form of a smartphone, so why not make the most of them? Farmers National Bank's digital banking options include an app that lets you deposit checks, make transfers, pay bills, and more. Download the Farmers National Bank mobile banking app in the App Store or Google Play and start making the most out of the computer in your pocket. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights good luck, go Knights!
To a farmer, a handshake is as good as a contract, and a man's word is something you can actually build on. So to have an insurance agent who's accountable, trustworthy, and dedicated to providing the best customer service possible, well, that sure does go a long way. And that's why the farmers in Lebanon trust Jesse Insurance.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue, across from the post office. Call 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
Lebanon, the heart of Kentucky, has always been known as a legendary place for dining, and it still is. Lebanon offers great options for virtually every type of dining. Fine cuisine with a chef-driven menu? We have it. Country dining with a local flair? We have it. How about a great lunch spot? We have it. We even have an old-time fountain drink counter, a 50-style drive-in with the best chili dog around, and a sweet shop complete with hand-dipped ice cream. For a complete listing of all the wonderful places to eat in Lebanon, go to visitlebanonky.com.
Mark Eaton
and Angie May here from TG Kentucky.
Looking for a full-time job with awesome pay and benefits?
New hourly rates start at $17.60 for off-shift production and shipping position.
Apply for these roles at workfortg.com.
Need a flexible part-time job? Apply through BellFlex and create your own work schedule.
Stop by and visit us in Lebanon or give us a call with any questions.
270-699-3300.
Find us on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Come see why TG Kentucky
is right for you.
Putting people back to work. Brought to you by the Marion County Industrial Foundation.
We've had some great basketball teams in our history here in Marion County. Whether it was the 1993 or the 2013 state champion teams, one key ingredient that made them a great team was trust. A great team is made up of team members that completely trust one another to get things done. That same mentality is found at Citizens National Bank of Lebanon. Go out and cheer for the Knights and the Lady Knights and bank with the area's chosen bank. Citizens National Bank of Lebanon, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Back here at Big Papa's, John Graves, Hal Good's out this morning. Want to thank Pixel Phase Media. I got both guys with us this morning, Sean Allen and Matt Smith. They do a wonderful job. We wouldn't do it any other way without them. But our first coach this morning is Coach Scott Elder. Coach, welcome in.
Good morning.
So, Coach, introduce yourself to the fans at home and talk a little bit about your history that led you to Washington County.
So I started coaching middle school basketball boys on the boys' side in Bergen. Coached there 10-plus years. Went to Mercer County, ran their middle school program for a while. And after that, was a boys' high school assistant back at Bergen. And then was transitioning to the girls' side to help their head coach when I got the opportunity at Washington County.
How's your first year been so far?
It's gone as expected. We've had some ups and downs, of course, and trying to get the program back on track, and I think we're doing a decent job with that.
As we look at your record overall, you're 5-8 on the year, 2-6 in the region, and 0-4 in district play. You got I think a couple more games left to play. You got 2 Bethlehem games and a Nelson County game that rescheduled. So where are you in your schedule? As a coach, I'm sure you kind of said, okay, by this month I want to be here, by this I want to be here. Are you on schedule with what you started with?
Yes and no. We play in probably the toughest district, toughest region in the state. You couldn't convince me any otherwise. I would like to be a little more competitive in the district, but we'll get there. We're young, still learning. When I came in, I had kids that didn't know where the nail was, or the short corner, or the slot, or any of those kind of things. So we're just basketball IQ building and fundamental building, and we'll get there.
The team plays with effort. We've covered several of the games here on G&G, and they seem to play with effort, and you can see it sometimes. And from my perspective, they're late with the pass, but you can kind of see where they should go, and they're still thinking. It looks like.
Yeah. Sometimes it's tough for them to process a situation quick and deal with that. But the one thing that we talked about day one is that they will play with effort. If we can stand in the mirror at the end of the game and say, look, we gave everything we've got, 150% the whole time we were out there, we'll live with the result.
Right.
So that's one thing. Effort and hustle are the one things I told them they didn't have a choice at. But they do play hard. They do play hard. They do everything that I ask of them, and at the end of the day, that's all I want from them.
Well, and you talk about your team and where you all fall in the region as we've got it pulled up here. Bethlehem, Bardstown, and Nelson County are in the top 6 in the region, just based on rankings.
Yep.
That's your district,
yeah.
And it's kind of tough to play.
Yep.
Bardstown come out this week in the Cure House, Licking House ratings, and they're one of the top 5 teams in the state.
Yeah, and they should be.
As they should be.
Right.
They tough loss over there this week is 93-32. But we talked pregame on that one, and one of your goals was to score more than you did the last time. As the previous game, I think you took the loss at 74-16.
Yeah.
You doubled your points, and you did it with a different look than you had with Olivia Stein being out and Anastasia Riley being out. And I thought Kiki Thompson did a great job, and Ari Edlin did a good job of bringing the ball up the floor. And I think that may give you a different look as you move forward.
It has. Ari's kind of stepped up a bunch, so she's kind of found herself in the starting role now. She brings a different attitude and a different energy level that I think with her energy level paired with Stasia Riley's energy, she plays hard the whole time. I mean, as soon as she comes out of the locker room, she's 100 miles an hour. I think with those two, we can feed off of what they're doing, and I think we may have found a lineup that we can work with.
Well, and one thing that I've noticed is, when teams pressure us, Bardstown or Bethlehem, getting the ball up the floor is the first battle. But when we get in the half-court sets, we do pretty well. Tashira Smalley does a great job of moving the ball around and making those passes. The other night against Bardstown, a couple of good cuts from Julianne Marnin down to Tashira, and we've got a basket.
Yeah. We trying to get Julianne to play a bigger role in the paint and she's progressing. So I think she had 9 points against Bardstown, all of those inside. I thought our inside game was really well against Bardstown. Of course, they probably hit a world record in three-pointers, I imagine. But we played hard, and like you said, we doubled our points. We got to 32. Another goal we had for that second half, coming out of halftime, was to cut down on our turnovers, which we did. So, you have to find those little building blocks and little goals to help build on and work on confidence.
How many seniors you got this year?
We got 3.
Let's talk about them. I know Julianne Martin's one. What is she? Who is Julianne Martin as a player?
She's quiet, but she understands her role on the team, and trying to get her to, like I said, to be a bigger presence in the paint. I think she's got a nice shot. We've tried to work on our confidence a little bit to try to pull the trigger, more times than instead of catching it and getting rid of it, kind of thing. So, but she plays hard, and we're still building on some little things, and she'll get there.
Who's your other 2 seniors?
We got Olivia Stein and Carmen Logsdon.
And Carmen sees sometimes great 3-point shooter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And she has a role at that, and she's our vocal leader on the bench in practice. She's always getting the girls going. If she sees one of them, lackadaisy kind of thing, she'll, hey, pick it up. She's our vocal.
And Olivia Stein seems like she's been here forever. I think she's been playing since
I think she's like 35 years old.
She's not. We're just playing. But there's somebody that out there looking for birth certificates. But no, she's been on Commander Ed since her 7th or 8th grade year. Yeah. I think she does a good job of leading up the floor.
Yes, that's true.
Who are Scott Elder's Washington County Commander Eds? If you had to put a name on your identity, what would you say?
Oh gosh, I mean we want to play fast, up down the floor, inside out, kind of thing. Just like I said, right now we're just trying to find our identity as a program, rebuild, start working on some things, and lay the foundation so that the future can be bright. Yes.
We're here at Big Papa's for the Saturday Morning Coaches Show, talking head skipper for the Washington County Commander Ed, Scott Elder. And Coach, before we finish up, let's look at your schedule. Unable to play last night due to COVID issues.
Right.
You ran into that against Bardstown, and I think it just kind of expounded from there.
Right.
What is your current situation? When do you go back to team activities?
We're down until tomorrow. We get to come back on Monday, which we travel to Richmond and play that Wellsprings Guardian team there on Monday. Hopefully, if we've got enough kids to do it. The Bergen game on the 27th has been canceled. Bergen has shut their stuff down until February. So we'll try to reschedule. The ones that we have missed, we'll try to reschedule those.
So you're looking at Thomas Nelson as a district game next Friday night.
Right.
That'd probably be good with the school being out last week and everything just being crazy to not have any games, be able to just get back in the gym, work at the fundamentals.
Yeah.
As you go to a Thomas Nelson team who is, let's see, they got they're 3-11, 1-5 in district play. So it's a good win. That's a good opportunity.
Yeah, we've played them earlier in the year, and we didn't play as well as we should. We were super flat, turned the ball over way more than we should have. It's you can't throw the ball to the other jersey and expect good things to happen. It's just not going to do it.
Makes it rough.
It does make it tough. So we'll hopefully we'll come out with a little bit more fire in our bellies for that game.
All right. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks with you, and we'll catch up and see where you are. Head coach of the Commander Ed, Scott Elder. Glad to have you over here at Big Papa's this morning.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back, and we're going to switch elders, and we're going to bring Bree Elder in, and we're going to talk about her Marion County Lady Knights and her first year as head coach of that team. So Big Papa's Smokehouse, the Saturday Morning Coaches Show. We'll be back in a moment.
At Farmers National Bank in Lebanon, we'd like to say, wow, thank you for voting us the best bank in Marion County, the best checking and savings in Marion County, the best loans and lending in Marion County, the best mortgages in Marion County, the best customer service in Marion County, and the one we're proud of, the best place to work in Marion County. Thank you to our customers and the community, and we couldn't do it without our great employees, so we are so proud to be voted the best place to work. Farmers National Bank, we're here for you. Farmers National Bank, 136 West Main Street in Lebanon and 2160 Campbellsville Highway. Farmers National Bank, member FDIC. So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights. Good luck, go Knights!
There's a craving in this instant, disposable world for something authentic, something real. The farmer knows what it means to be real because they face real issues every day. So an insurance agent who can provide real solutions to those problems is something you can hang your hat on. And that's why the farmers of Marion County trust Jesse Insurance. People who understand things only a farmer would.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue in Lebanon, across from the post office, 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
Lebanon, the heart of Kentucky, has always been known as a legendary place for dining, and it still is. Lebanon offers great options for virtually every type of dining. Fine cuisine with a chef-driven menu? We have it. Country dining with a local flair? We have it. How about a great lunch spot? We have it. We even have an old-time fountain drink counter, a 50-style drive-in with the best chili dog around, and a sweet shop complete with hand-dipped ice cream. For a complete listing of all the wonderful places to eat in Lebanon, go to visitlebanonky.com.
One of my all-time favorite Washington County teams was led by the great Kevin Ellery. And who can forget our old buddy, Coach Bill Newton, and his flannel shirts leading the Commanderettes into battles. A truly great team is made up of team members that completely trust one another to get things done. That same great team mentality is how it is at Citizens National Bank. Our goal is to offer championship quality bank for all of Central Kentucky. Go out and support our local sports teams and bank with Citizens National Bank of Lebanon. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Let's talk for a moment about Big Papa's Smokehouse. They're at 110 Lebanon Trade Center in Lebanon, and Big Papa's Smokehouse, they take pride in smoking their meats in their very own outdoor smoke pit. They specialize in pulled pork, brisket, and ribs blended in that special Big Papa's Smokehouse original rub. Big Papa's Smokehouse, right now, they'll come to you. They have their new food truck, and it's ready for you. Call 270-699-2321 for more information. See Big Papa today.
Back here at Big Papa's for the G&G Saturday Morning Coaches Show. John Graves flying solo this morning. Hal's got a lot of faith in me this morning, but so far it's gone so well. We've talked to our head coach for Washington County, Scott Elder, and now we are talking to our head coach for Marion County, Bree. Bree, welcome in this morning.
Thank you.
Not the easiest morning to get up and come in to talk basketball. It's a little chilly out.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely cold.
So, Bree, first year at Marion County as a coach, not the first year that you were a Lady Knight, but talk a little bit about and let the watchers know where you come from, kind of a little bit of history about who Bree Elder is as a player and a coach.
I was born and raised in Marion County. I played for Marion County since my 6th grade year. I played for Chet Milby. Played all the way up, played with Michaela, Kyvan, Logan Powell, Patrice, all of them. We did amazing in our district. We was like 4-peat or something like that. Region, we won that. State, we was runner-up. The year after I left, I went 39-0.
So you graduated in 2012?
I did.
Okay.
Yep. 2012, we were state runner-up. Other than that, just a cornbread fan.
Played college ball?
Yeah, I did. I played for the University of Dayton for a year and a half. And then I transferred back home and went to Lindsey Wilson and played for John Whittington.
Okay. And what coaching have you done before you got to Marion County?
I helped Kyvan with a lot of like camps and stuff. As far as coaching goes, though, I didn't really do too much coaching except for those camps. So.
How excited were you to come back to Marion County and be named the head coach at your alma mater?
I was super excited, like overwhelmed. It was a great feeling.
How's it gone so far?
So far, so good. We're young. We're learning. I get to build a program. I didn't step in with 12 seniors. I stepped in with 2. So just building it one step at a time, and I'm proud of them.
So let's talk about your progression. You know, we talked about the other Coach Elder. You kind of set out at the beginning of the year and said, okay, by this date or by this month we want to do this, and are you where you wanted to be? Are you ahead of the game? Are you behind the game? Or just talk about where you are as part of the Lady Knights.
I feel like we're right on track. The beginning of the season, we started out slow. I was getting a feel for them. They was getting a feel for me. We really didn't have an understanding of each other as a coach and a player. But now I feel like everything's falling into place. They're picking up on everything. Everybody's improving like they should. Nobody's standing still. So I think we're right where we need to be.
So what is the Lady Knight? What is the identity of this basketball team? Is it defensive driven? Is it offensive driven? Is it, who are the Lady Knights?
I would definitely say if our defense is going, our offense is going. If our offense isn't, so I feel like we're just trying to find our identity. You know what I mean? It's not really too much on the defensive side or the offensive side, but altogether it balances itself out. So we're just trying to find it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about where you are in your season. You're 5-11 overall, 1-7 in the region, 0-3 in the district. Had some tough games. You've had wins against Washington County, Clinton County, Model, Sayre, back-to-back wins there, and then Collins. Last, 52-41 loss against LaRue County, and a 50-35 loss against Hart County. Two pretty good teams that are, close to the top of the region. This is a tough region to play in. As we
it definitely
talk with Coach
is. It's really competitive. And those last two losses, I only had like 6 girls playing because some girls were sick, which is an excuse, but we was playing with what we had. And I feel like those losses were great compared to what it could have been. If that makes sense.
Well, when COVID and all this other stuff gets in, you get different players have to play different minutes and probably different roles.
Yep.
But that's good for their development too.
Definitely is. We was going to talk about Kenzie Gordon. I got her playing like 3 different positions just because I never know where I'm going to put her at. But she always does well with them, so I'm proud of them.
Yeah, as I teased, I've got to talk about Kenzie Gordon. She's partially family, so we've always got to talk about Kenzie.
Great,
she's a great kid. Let's talk a little bit about your seniors. You've got 2, De'Ara Spalding and Lily Thompson. What have you learned or gathered from De'Ara this year? She's your leading point scorer. I think she's averaging 19.1 points a game. So looks like your offense goes through her.
She is a powerhouse. I tell her all the time if she would play defense a little bit, ain't no limit to what she could really do. But as far as De'Ara goes, she's amazing. She's been through a lot throughout her high school career, I feel like. So with her even showing up for me and playing for me this year was a blessing for me. So
absolutely.
Yeah, she's great.
Then your other senior is Lily Thompson. I know she had a great game against Washington County, and she was the G&G player of the game that night. What does Lily bring to the table?
Lily brings a lot to the table too. She's my leader in the game, out of the game. She's more vocal than anybody on the team. So I feel like with her being vocal and the other players listening to her, she's amazing too. My 2 seniors are amazing.
I can remember the Adair County game. She would get mad at players before you even had an opportunity to get mad.
Yeah, before I could even get a chance.
So she's kind of like an assistant coach that's out there on the floor, I feel like. And I saw that during, both the games we covered on G&G, I was able to see that she's your little floor general, just kind of runs through things and really kind of complements your coaching style very well, I think.
She does. I had her at the 1 at the beginning of the season. Like I said, we was just getting the feel of each other. And I moved her to the 2, and she's been doing a whole lot better at the 2. I just got to get her to understand, to take care of the ball more, and Lily's perfect.
Now, I know a couple of other players you want to talk about is Kiki Adams and Maya Scott. Maya Scott, the Scott name is synonymous here in Marion County.
Yeah.
She's Marlis's daughter. Marlis was a good player back in his day.
Yeah.
I think he can still shoot the round ball a little bit now.
That's Elton Scott's niece.
It's Elton's niece. Elton, of course, Mr. Kentucky basketball over here on the 93 team, and so there's a little history. There's some people there that know how to play.
Yeah, Maya's only a freshman, and she's averaging a double-double. She's my point guard, and when I say I am more confident with the ball in her hands than not anybody on the floor, but she's just so comfortable with it. You know what I mean? And I love that about her. Kiki, if she just gets to understand that there's this thing that I call a dog. You got a pup and a dog.
That's right.
And I feel like if Kiki becomes a dog, there's no limit to what she can do. She's great. She can get to the basket. She can shoot threes. I can get Maya to shoot more. She'll be great as well.
So how has the community reacted to you being the head coach? Do you feel like you got the support of the community? I know you've got at any point in time you'll have 500 assistant coaches behind you in the stands telling you, you need to do this and this.
Yeah.
But overall, how's the community support been?
It's all love. I got coaches I can reach out to that I had prior to when I was here. So Coach Marks, I feel like I can reach out to him about anything. But as far as like the whole community goes, Coach McKay, all of them still comes to the games. So it's just all love. When I see them, it's like my heart smiles because they watch me play. So just them showing me the love that they showed me as a player, it's amazing.
Over the next week, you've got, it looks like Rockcastle County, and then you've got Adair and LaRue, Campbellsville, Taylor County coming up. And then, we're going to drop down to that bottom schedule. And I should ask Coach Elder this, and I may do it here in a little bit. February 14th at Washington County game. That game just means more. Even doesn't matter the records. You've played in a couple of those games, and that game means a lot.
It's a border rivalry, so it's always bragging rights. Who wins and who doesn't win, it's always we beat Washington County or they beat us. So it's always a bragging right.
Yep.
That's our senior night too, so it'll be big for De'Ara and Lily.
That will be a big game, and you'll be catching that game live on GNG as we catch most of Washington County's district games, but there's not going to be many chances that you won't see us catch a Marion Washington County game at any point in time. So, Bree, we thank you for coming in. Is there anything? I do want to ask one question. You all played in the 2A sectional tournament. You've got the 1A that Washington County played in, went over to Fort Knox and played, and then you all play in the 2A, which is kind of the next step. It's not the full against everybody, but it's the next 70 schools, I think. How was that experience for you girls?
That's when we played LaRue County, and we only had 6 girls. It was good. It was at Taylor County. Like I said, that loss was, I feel like, great compared to what we had or what it could have been. So it was good overall. That was my first time experiencing it. So, I wish we had it the dub, but
you always want to win. I get that. So, Autism Classic was scheduled for today. That has been canceled, and they're going to actually do some of those at the Marion Washington County game. We're going to cover some of that, that you participated in that Autism Classic as a player. And I know you all wanted to have that today, but just because of weather, it just wasn't feasible.
Right. Plus, it gives us a lot more time to practice on things we need to do for Adair County and LaRue County coming up. So,
right. Well, Coach, thanks for coming in this morning. You stick around a little bit. We've got our legend here, and then we'll all sit around.
She's definitely a legend, by the way.
She is. So that's your coach, Bree Elder, head coach of Marion County Lady Knights. We're going to take a break. We are going to bring our legend in, and we're going to talk basketball with Lena Bramlett. G&G Production, Saturday Morning Coaches Show, live from Big Papa's.
At Farmers National Bank in Lebanon, we'd like to say, wow! Wow! Thank you for voting us the best bank in Marion County, the best checking and savings in Marion County, the best loans and lending in Marion County, the best mortgages in Marion County, the best customer service in Marion County, and the one we're proud of, the best place to work in Marion County. Thank you to our customers and the community, and we couldn't do it without our great employees, so we are so proud to be voted the best place to work. Farmers National Bank, we're here for you. Farmers National Bank, 136 West Main Street in Lebanon and 2160 Campbellsville Highway. Farmers National Bank, member FDIC. So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights good luck, go Knights!
To a farmer, a handshake is as good as a contract, and a man's word is something you can actually build on. So to have an insurance agent who's accountable, trustworthy, and dedicated to providing the best customer service possible, well, that sure does go a long way. And that's why the farmers in Lebanon trust Jesse Insurance.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue, across from the post office. Call 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
Lebanon, the heart of Kentucky, has always been known as a legendary place for dining, and it still is. Lebanon offers great options for virtually every type of dining. Fine cuisine with a chef-driven menu? We have it. Country dining with a local flair? We have it. How about a great lunch spot? We have it. We even have an old-time fountain drink counter, a 50-style drive-in with the best chili dog around, and a sweet shop complete with hand-dipped ice cream. For a complete listing of all the wonderful places to eat in Lebanon, go to visitlebanonky.com.
We've had some great basketball teams in our history here in Marion County. Whether it was the 1993 or the 2013 state champion teams, one key ingredient that made them a great team was trust. A great team is made up of team members that completely trust one another to get things done. That same mentality is found at Citizens National Bank of Lebanon. Go out and cheer for the Knights and the Lady Knights and bank with the area's chosen bank. Citizens National Bank of Lebanon, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Mark Eaton.
And Angie May here from TG Kentucky.
Looking for a full-time job with awesome pay and benefits?
New hourly rates start at $17.60 for off-shift production and shipping position.
Apply for these roles at workfortg.com.
Need a flexible part-time job? Apply through BellFlex and create your own work schedule.
Stop by and visit us in Lebanon or give us a call with any questions.
270-699-3300.
Find us on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Come see why TG Kentucky
is right for you.
Putting people back to work. Brought to you by the Marion County Industrial Foundation.
Good morning and welcome back to Big Papa Smokehouse, G&G's Saturday Morning Coaches Show. Crowd's starting to filter in here. We've got a variety of people in. We're going to have some food here in a minute. I've eaten here several times. It's my favorite, without a doubt. I love coming over to Lebanon and eating at Big Papa's. And Big Papa's going to join us in a minute. We're going to talk about what he's got going on. He's been a big sponsor for G&G as we've been able to do this, but we do want to thank you for tuning in to the Farmers National Bank Coaches Show. We're going to get all my sponsors in here.
Right, there you go.
And when we started this discussion about a month ago, we wanted to bring a legend in, and we don't use that term lightly. Last week we had Bernard Smalley, who for anybody that's in athletics at Washington County, they know. And when we come to Marion County, I couldn't think of a better person to bring in than Lena Bramblett.
Well,
Lena, welcome in this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Legend makes you feel so old. Now, I can get it. I understand with Bernard. But
I know, right? Well, you've just been accomplished at such a young age. You started
That's
early.
what it is.
See,
there
I've
you
got
go.
it. So let's talk a little history and kind of date some things for everybody. You were a player at Marion County.
Yeah, I played for Sis her last year that she retired. We went to the state tournament.
Yeah.
It was her last year.
Graduated in '95 and then started. We think about 1999 at St. Catherine.
Yeah, I think it was '99. I was assistant coach for 2 years,
Okay.
and then got the head coaching job and was there for 14, 15 years. I think it was 15.
15.
I don't remember.
That sounds
so
about
long
right.
ago.
I know. We're rolling some pictures through now, and you can't see them, but I showed them to you earlier.
Yeah, man.
Good times. I come in at St. Catherine in 2007.
Yeah.
And joined you there at the. Did PA for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to do a national tournament. We went up to Frankfort playing a national tournament.
Yeah.
And then you transitioned from there and went to Washington County and was the head skipper there 3 years?
3 years, 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Listen,
Dates
I don't
just kind of run
know.
together.
They all run together when you get older, right?
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary. There you go.
So the only thing we can't keep up with is we know when Patriot Madness was because Si was
right.
born on that day
That's right.
several years ago. So that's kind of the history of it. And now you're in administration, assistant principal.
Assistant principal at the elementary school.
At the elementary school. So have stepped back from coaching. How's that been?
I've had probably 3 or 4 people ask me in the last couple of weeks, do I miss it? And I really don't. I do miss all the connections that I had and the travel I was able to do. But as far as the time, I don't. My kids are getting older, and it's nice to be able to go watch Si and Case play and, be able to every now and then go catch a baseball game because Luther's at Midway now.
He is.
So it's nice to have the time back because it was a lot of time. So I miss the relationships, but I don't miss the time and the just everything that went along with it.
Let's talk about your time at St. Catherine. You were there 14, 15 years. Had some tough years.
Yeah.
Had some good years too as well. And those relationships, as we talked before we started this morning. It's fun to see, and I felt a part of the program as much as I was around. It's fun to see those girls turn into young women at college and then go on. How much fun is that to see a Courtney Milam who is on every state trooper billboard in
She
the state
is.
of Kentucky, and you know, Heather Sandlin's a real estate agent down in Florida, and
You got Danielle Brown.
Danielle
She's coaching
Brown.
at LaRue.
So
and-
that's your coach's
Yeah.
tree.
Mhm.
Is she the only player that has turned into a coach?
I think so. I think that is one of the few. Yeah, I think she.
And I think she's winning over there. Let's
yeah,
see,
she
she's
is.
7-7 on the year.
She does. Danielle does. You know, that family. I mean, they are LaRue County. And,
They are.
And Presley's having a great year at Bellarmine.
Mhm.
But she is. She's a great coach and does well leading that program. Yeah.
And you transitioned at St. Catherine. It was a 2-year school when you
Mhm.
started coaching.
Yep, we were chief
and then
coach.
the last 5-6 years you were in
It's about half and half.
About half
Yeah.
and half, and
Yeah.
Mid-South Conference. And boy, those were some games.
Man, it was definitely a learning experience the first couple years because you know you put yourself in a conference with Camelsville and Lindsey Wilson. I mean, they talk about legends.
Uh-huh.
That's where they are. And so to be able, because I graduated from Camelsville, and so to play your alma mater and to play people that you truly looked up to as a coach, that comes none better. And it was tough. It was very tough, but we were able to build a program and Bree and I were just talking. I recruited her, and she said, "But I really loved you." I said, "Well, you didn't love me enough because you didn't come play for me." No, so it's that whole season of life was such an experience, and so many relationships were made and built, and that made me who I am.
Well, and you talk about Bree Elder, who was a
Mhm.
D1 basketball player,
Yep.
and people sometimes forget that St. Catherine and Camelsville and Georgetown, there's some good talent. Sydney Moss, who
Yeah.
was Randy Moss,
Mhm.
We recruited her.
Yeah, Stacy Shrout, who played for me, was one of her teammates, and we had a good chance at getting her, and it just kind of fell apart at the end, and which is part of the whole recruiting game. Janae Howard, who was a Division I athlete at Louisville, she was a national. They were in the national championship, or runners. I can't remember if they were in the quarterfinals or the championship, but she ended up transferring to us and playing 2 years, and I mean Riley Poirier. I mean these are kids that held their own at the national tournament. And
What was the girl's name that was from Europe? That
Rihanna Hofstraat, yeah.
She loved Kentucky so much.
She did, man. She she played at Bardstown and was an exchange student, and we were able to bring her in. And she played 4 years for me, and I'm gonna tell you, they're come none better than that young lady and her family. I was able, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I was able to go on tour over to Europe with them for a couple of weeks
I
and
do remember
kind of experience her hometown. So it was, just blessings everywhere from them.
2011, I think, was the national tournament team.
Mhm. Yes.
Because that year, J.T. Burton, who was
Yep.
head coach of the boys
Yep.
at that time, he took a team to Kansas City.
Yep.
And then we took a team up to Frankfurt and got to play. That was a different experience.
It was, but man, I'm so glad it was Frankfurt, because I don't know how that would have worked out. I had my second kid on the 19th of February. I coached my first game, I remember, on the 25th. And then my brother stepped in and won a game, I think, against Lindsay. Won a game against Lindsay that day. But then, we had conference tournament was 2 weeks after, and then national tournament was 3 weeks after. And here I am toting around a 3-week-old baby. And if it wasn't for my family, I don't know. I'm not sure how would I been able to do that.
And that's what it took every time down at St.
Absolutely.
Catherine. I can remember bringing Gracie and Jackson down, and I would look up, and Gracie wouldn't be in the gym, and Sarah Lawson would be like, she's down in the dorms with us. And I mean, it's just family. You bring kids, and they would just run around. I've seen pictures of Cy when he was Cy. I can still remember every time I would play music during timeouts, he was over there at the coaches. I was just
dancing, man. And then something popped up the other day on a memory where he was, literally at half court, and everybody's watching him. He's just dancing away. But that's what it was about. It was about building that family atmosphere, and you didn't have to worry about where your kids were, because another kid that you coached was taken care of.
Yeah, when we went to the national tournament, and I'm getting my credentials in the 2014, I took Gracie and Jackson down, and I look up, and 10 minutes later, they've got media credentials at a national tournament. Like, they just knew how to get in. I can remember Jackson riding up to Frankfurt with you as you all were coming up for the
our national tournament too.
Mid-South
Conference
Conference tournament, and it was that family, and then so we went from St. Catherine, and then you had enough of that and the traveling, and the boys were getting older, and you coached at Washington for 2 years. What was that like?
I was awesome. It's a tough place. The kids, they gave me everything that they had. They were great, just great kids and great families to play, to be able to coach. And, we didn't win a lot, but that wasn't what it was about at the time. It grew me more as a person than I ever realized, because I was coming off of competitor. I mean, competitor, and I still am, but I had to learn how to coach kids and get them to play through every single loss that we endured. And, I still talk to a lot of those kids. And, it's just building a program. I mean, you've got to continue to build and build and build because, it's tough. It's tough to win there right now.
It is, and and it's and I follow a lot of the sports, obviously, and we do this not because for the wins and losses, but you impact those kids.
Absolutely.
I still talk to a lot of the players that were at St. Catherine. I still talk to a lot of the kids that I coached in football, and that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
I think you and I both, and I think both of Scott and Bree will agree. You use these relationships to make an impact on kids, and
Absolutely.
you do it for the kids, and it's not wins and losses. I mean, you're graded on wins and losses,
right.
and the community grades you on wins and losses, but it's more about,
It's about that perseverance.
It is.
I mean, and teaching kids perseverance through the wins and the losses. And, the kids that play, the kids that he's got now are some of the kids that I've kind of finished with were my younger group. And, they're great kids. I mean, they work hard, and that's all you can ask for. And, to just keep persevering through.
We're here at Big Papa's Smokehouse, Saturday Morning Coaches Show. We've got our legend, Lena Bramlett, with us. We've already talked to our other coaches, and we're going to bring them all back in here in a moment. But Lena, so you're in administration now, and let's talk a little bit about what's going on at Luther, who was the head baseball coach. Five was down there for St. Catherine for several years. You all, I think, met there?
We did.
And got married there?
We did.
And had kids there?
We did. Well, not there.
Well, not there, but
Yeah.
But and now he's at Midway?
Yes, yeah.
And they're doing pretty well. We've got
They
a great.
are. Man, the facilities.
What about that?
It's unreal. Yeah, I mean, I saw when he first left St. Catherine, I just saw his heartbreaking. Watching the field that that him and Brad Shelton had really worked hard on, and now he's kind of Midway is really, just embraced who he is, and the field they've got there and the money they've sunk into that and that program is.
I'm telling
amazing.
you, I've been up there in the spring, and he's got the field to a T.
Yeah.
It looks. I mean,
He doesn't mow our yard, but he will.
That's what I was going to ask.
Fine. It's fine. I'm
so,
used to it.
Yeah, it's so your yard's going to look like what the St. Catherine looked like for a little bit, but his yard up there look good.
Yeah, it looks better.
And then you've got the horses that are in the background. I mean,
Oh,
it's just, if you've not caught a Midway game, I would highly encourage you to look up. Pretty good baseball team too. I mean,
Yeah.
they did well. Won the River States Conference his
They
first
did
year.
first
up.
year. Mm-hmm.
And he's getting he's putting in his work up there.
Yeah, he does an excellent job. I mean, I gave him a hard time. He's old. He's 50. He's halfway there, but it's his passion, and he does a phenomenal job with those kids and in that program.
Coach, will you hang out with us? We're going to take a break and bring all the coaches back in, do a little
Awesome.
round table. We're going to take a break, be back in a minute. This is the Saturday Morning Coaches Show, the Farmers National Bank Farmers Coaches Show, brought to you by G&G Productions. Back in a moment.
At Farmers National Bank in Lebanon, we'd like to say, wow, thank you for voting us the best bank in Marion County, the best checking and savings in Marion County, the best loans and lending in Marion County, the best mortgages in Marion County, the best customer service in Marion County, and the one we're proud of, the best place to work in Marion County. Thank you to our customers and the community, and we couldn't do it without our great employees, so we are so proud to be voted the best place to work. Farmers National Bank, we're here for you. Farmers National Bank, 136 West Main Street in Lebanon and 2160 Campbellsville Highway. Farmers National Bank, member FDIC. So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable, while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights. Good luck, go Knights!
There's a craving in this instant, disposable world for something authentic, something real. The farmer knows what it means to be real because they face real issues every day. So an insurance agent who can provide real solutions to those problems is something you can hang your hat on. And that's why the farmers of Marion County trust Jesse Insurance. People who understand things only a farmer would.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue in Lebanon across from the post office, 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
Lebanon, the heart of Kentucky, has always been known as a legendary place for dining, and it still is. Lebanon offers great options for virtually every type of dining. Fine cuisine with a chef-driven menu? We have it. Country dining with a local flair? We have it. How about a great lunch spot? We have it. We even have an old-time fountain drink counter, a 50-style drive-in with the best chili dog around, and a sweet shop complete with hand-dipped ice cream. For a complete listing of all the wonderful places to eat in Lebanon, go to visitlebanonky.com.
One of my all-time favorite Washington County teams was led by the great Kevin Ellery. And who can forget our old buddy, Coach Bill Newton, and his flannel shirts leading the Commanderettes into battles. A truly great team is made up of team members that completely trust one another to get things done. That same great team mentality is how it is at Citizens National Bank. Our goal is to offer championship quality bank for all of Central Kentucky. Go out and support our local sports teams and bank with Citizens National Bank of Lebanon. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Let's talk for a moment about Big Papa's Smokehouse. They're at 110 Lebanon Trade Center in Lebanon, and Big Papa's Smokehouse, they take pride in smoking their meats in their very own outdoor smoke pit. They specialize in pulled pork, brisket, and ribs blended in that special Big Papa Smokehouse original rub. Big Papa Smokehouse, right now, they'll come to you. They have their new food truck, and it's ready for you. Call 270-699-2321 for more information. See Big Papa today.
Back here live for the Farmers National Bank Saturday morning coaches show. I got to remember how always does such a better job at all this. But we want to thank all of our sponsors. Of course, we're at Big Papa's this morning. Big Papa has been just a great friend to G&G. Jesse Insurance, Ram Homes, Lebanon Tourism, Marion County Industrial Foundation, and Citizens National Bank. Please visit our sponsors. Tell them you saw us here. And make sure you know that they see the value in what we're doing. So now we've got all the coaches, the elders, both of them, and the Bramletts and me. And guys, this is just a little time. Let's just have a little round table. You've got Lena, who has coached and played at several different things. Is there anything we want to talk about this morning?
I do love you.
I know you do. I know you do.
And it
I
wasn't
just have to give you a hard time.
I was like,
It's
I
the
gotta address
process.
that.
No, it's the process. And
But
it
yeah.
is. I mean, recruiting staff.
And plus, your dad was my commentator for
Listen,
many's
my
a
dad,
moon.
My dad, I'll have to tell you a funny story. I told him, he said, what y'all got going on this week? And I said, I'm doing a coach's show on Saturday. And he goes, that's supposed to be me. I said, clearly you're not a legend.
That is sweet.
We would definitely have to bring him in.
He's awesome.
My favorite
He's a mess,
Eugene
man.
story is Eugene Campbell, is Lena's dad, is back when the NBA had a lockout. St. Catherine boys was playing the Kentucky All-Stars. They were doing the little thing, and we were having it at Marion County. And Mike Doig was the AD and had everything set up. And, we're the home team. So, Mike said, we don't do PA. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm pumped. You came to St. Catherine, and I'm going to be PA. And Mike called me the night before the game. He said, well,
Nope.
there's a problem. So we're having it at Marion County, and Eugene wants to do the game. And I'm like, yeah, Eugene's going to do that game.
Yeah.
So,
That's his microphone over there.
It's his microphone.
It's his house. I mean, I respect.
If he ever retired, he has to take that microphone with him.
I know, right?
They got to get a brand new system.
They will. So
Yeah.
Eugene's great. We do a lot of work with Eugene on the PA side.
Yeah,
So,
he does.
Coach, I know there was Coach Clonch was there in between you and when Lena was there. But do you still see some pieces of when Lena was there as a head coach?
Yeah, her name comes up a lot. It does. Practice, coaches
goodness.
meetings, those kind of things. But the girls still, the older girls that were there when she was there still are very fond of her. So she definitely, had an impact on those kids as coaches do.
It's hard not to be fond of Lena Bramlett.
It is.
Well,
it is.
y'all,
Seriously.
that's precious.
It is. So, Lena, you've been in the spot that, it's tough basketball. I mean, the records, they are what they are, and the girls are playing hard, but you've been there.
Absolutely.
What's your best advice to these two? They're in their first year, and it's tough, and you've got, 500 fans in the stands on both sides thinking, we're 5-11 or we're 5-8, and what are we doing here? What's your best advice to these two?
Well, I mean this as nice as I can for people in the stands, but sometimes the coaches that are in the stands are, they think they're
there's
the
about
best
350
ones.
coaches in the bleachers.
And that's hard. But you know what your teams are capable of. I mean, you know the effort that they put in and day out, and you go with that. I mean, you've got to trust your kids and trust your instinct, and just continue to push them because losing's hard. I mean, it is. I've been there and I've done that, and but when you get that taste of a win here and there, I mean, it makes up for everything that the struggles that you have. So, and they're kids, they're kids, and that's all. You guys are in tough positions, and you're doing great jobs, and that's all you can ask for.
Sometimes winning's easy. It's easy to roll out and have teams that wins. But I feel like when you go through these losses, and we did it in football with Washington County, it was 3 or whatever, and I work a lot with that program. No, it doesn't tell you who. It doesn't build any character. Winning builds character. It does.
It's easy to coach a team that's winning.
It is, but
it's very. Easy.
But
now getting there might be harder, but it's easier.
Character is built in losing seasons. I think. I'm a big fan of the view from the mountains are majestic, but all the growth happens in the valleys.
That's right. That's where you get all your adversity. That's where you get all your overcoming that little hump. You know what I mean? I feel like so.
Well, both of you, you were at Mercer. You all won a couple games. I think a couple state championships while you were with that team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You all were state runners up. You all won. So I know it's got to be hard for you all. And I know how frustrating it is. But what makes you all come back every day? It's got to be the teams.
Well, it's the kids. At the end of the day, you're preparing these young ladies. Basketball's going to be over at some point for all of them. So we're trying to instill characteristics and things in them that will carry them into adulthood. Right. Yeah. Have them good mothers and good sisters and good, just good people. So that's the number one thing.
Yep, just building good people. One day, one step at a time. One practice at a time, one game at a time. It's really what it's all about the kids. And me not being too much older than them. Sorry. I got some 17-year-olds. I'm only 27. So I feel like I could put myself in their shoes frequently. You know what I mean? Like, well, this is what happened. Not really speaking about myself, but speaking on experience. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all about the kids. Build relationships with them and stuff like that.
Well, as somebody who watches athletics and has been involved with athletics right now, I want to tell both of y'all, just keep coaching. Don't worry about anybody that's not in your bubble. And I say that because I was in Lena's bubble when we were at St. Catherine, when we were at Washington. The rest of it's all noise. Don't worry about it. Those girls, you all are doing more for those girls than wins and losses will ever show up. And Lena, you played it. What was your record your junior year?
Of what?
High school.
I don't know.
And guess what? Neither will
that?
These girls know.
Not
your
a
juniors and your seniors are not going to remember their records, but guess what? They're going to remember.
They'll remember bus rides.
Yep.
They'll remember stopping and getting
Experiences
meals. They'll remember those things.
Those cut-up moments, those TikTok moments.
They'll remember if you cared.
Yeah.
They'll remember what it was.
That's exactly what it is.
I remember way more about locker rooms than I do floors back when I played when I was around athletics. So, well, guys, I want to thank you all for coming in this morning. We're going to take one more break, and then we're going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend. The Big Papa is going to join me over here, and we're going to talk about all the fun things he's got going on. So, thank you for watching Farmers National Bank Coaching Show this morning. We're going to have one more segment back in a moment.
At Farmers National Bank in Lebanon, we'd like to say, wow, thank you for voting us the best bank in Marion County, the best checking and savings in Marion County, the best loans and lending in Marion County, the best mortgages in Marion County, the best customer service in Marion County, and the one we're proud of, the best place to work in Marion County. Thank you to our customers and the community, and we couldn't do it without our great employees, so we are so proud to be voted the best place to work. Farmers National Bank, we're here for you. Farmers National Bank, 136 West Main Street in Lebanon and 2160 Campbellsville Highway. Farmers National Bank, member FDIC. So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights. Good luck, go Knights!
To a farmer, a handshake is as good as a contract, and a man's word is something you can actually build on. So to have an insurance agent who's accountable, trustworthy, and dedicated to providing the best customer service possible, well, that sure does go a long way. And that's why the farmers in Lebanon trust Jesse Insurance.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue, across from the post office. Call 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
Lebanon, the heart of Kentucky, has always been known as a legendary place for dining, and it still is. Lebanon offers great options for virtually every type of dining. Fine cuisine with a chef-driven menu? We have it. Country dining with a local flair? We have it. How about a great lunch spot? We have it. We even have an old-time fountain drink counter, a 50-style drive-in with the best chili dog around, and a sweet shop complete with hand-dipped ice cream. For a complete listing of all the wonderful places to eat in Lebanon, go to visitlebanonky.com.
Back here at Big Papa's for the Farmers National Bank G&G Coaches Show. We want to thank you all for watching last hour. We've had Scott Elder for Washington County Commanderettes, Bree Elder for the Lady Knights, and we had our legend, who is just old enough to be in legendary status. I want to make sure that's clear. Lena Bramlett this morning, and now we got the Big Papa. Papa, thank you for having G&G and the Coaches Show this morning.
You're welcome, John. Thank you. Appreciate you guys coming along. Enjoy you being here and enjoy supporting Marion and Washington County sports. So I'm glad to be here, man. Glad y'all are here.
Hey, we wouldn't, we did our first one last week in Mordecai's on Main, and then pretty quick to come over here and join you all. So you follow the Lady Knights a little bit more than I do, and was listening this morning. What do you think about Bree Elder as a coach? Give me a breakdown here.
Well,
you do a little sportscast.
Yeah. Well, when I found out she was a coach, I think me and along with others, were excited. Mm-hmm. She's a hometown girl, and she's been on some good teams. She's had some good coaching, and she's an excellent ball player, and turns that into an excellent coach. So just watching her on the sideline, you could tell she enjoys it, and it means a lot to her. And I hope she's as excited as we are, for us to have her. And people that I talk to, especially Bree, your first year, it's going to take her some time.
It is.
It's going to take her some time to build her program, and hopefully she's going to want to stay here long enough to build her a program so somebody don't snatch her. But we're excited. We're excited. We're excited she's here, and she knows I support her, and Big Papa's, and a lot of the community supports her. So.
And I feel the same way with Scott Elder over Washington County. He's got it, and we've got two. It's interesting to have two first-year coaches.
Yeah.
In the same year, and right here back to back.
Right.
But you can see the programs that they're building. You can see what they're wanting to do, and it's just exciting.
Right.
And,
it is.
You can't win every year, but both teams have the ability to win. They've shown that in the past. Recently with Marion County, and 2013 winning the state championship.
Right.
And you go back a little longer than that, but Washington County had some teams that were runners up in the All-A, and 2005 they go to the Sweet 16 and win a couple of games.
Right.
And so we know how to win here. It's just getting back to it. So
it is, and they both got their they got their work cut out for them. You know how it is these days. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get kids to stay engaged in the sports. There's so much more out there going on now. The social media, and then you've got a lot of other sports that they're competing with now than when we were younger. Playing basketball or football or some of the baseball, the three main sports. That was what you wanted to do.
Right.
Now it's they got a lot of competition now. So and things are different. So, but I think they've got the two right coaches. To get that started, and same with Scott too. I don't follow as much because stay busy here a lot, but we support Washington County.
Oh,
as
absolutely,
well. And
absolutely.
I think we do ball game days, teams at Marion and Washington County, they always get a discount if they come in wearing their gear, for game day. We'll always do that, no matter what sport it is. But that's just kind of show our support for, especially Marion and Washington. Now, I have a lot of people from Springfield that come over here.
Springfield people know good food.
They do.
I'm telling you. I mean,
They do.
that's why they come
They
over.
do, and they need some good barbecue.
Absolutely. So how long you been here?
July of 2019. So
Okay.
this will be our third year come July. So
you decided to open a restaurant and then COVID hits.
you got that right. Yeah.
That's been fun, hasn't it?
But you know what? I think it's a testament of what we're just talking about, the communities. When restaurants had to go only, I'm going to be honest, my sales actually increased.
Yeah.
Because everybody was into, we got to help the locals.
That's right.
And so everybody was here. We were lined up, for to-go orders. And then some businesses and schools were catering for another business, and then somebody else would be like, you're not going to outdo me. I'm going to pay for this business.
Yeah.
So here I'm on the end of it saying, I hope you get every business in Marion and Washington County paid for.
That's right.
Because if you go down the line, that's a lot of good business for me. And it was just great. And
and not only you've grown during a pandemic, and opened a business and it's thriving. You've grown. We've done a couple of weddings together, and you're doing some catering on some different things. So congratulations.
Thank
man.
you.
It's
Thank
good.
you. That's what I was going to speak about was, I think we've got 9 weddings already scheduled for 2022. So, I mean, we've already matched the amount that we had last year. So, and we've got probably 10 quotes out. So, our catering business is growing, and I got the food truck outside, and I got it going in September. And we went to Springfield at Farm Bureau, Jeremy Harden's place, and they were lying down the street, and we sold out pretty fast. So, like you said, Springfield knows good food. So,
It's a good wedding reception when atmosphere, entertainment there, and Big Papa's is
that's
there.
right.
You're
That's
in
right.
the right place.
You got the whatever you want to call the special beverages with some barbecue and some good fun, good entertainment. You can't beat it.
That's absolutely.
You can't beat it.
So for people that are watching today, and again, this is I don't even know what today is. Today is January 22nd. So if you're watching this later on down the road, but if you've got to come in and get something, and you've never been here before, what are you going to tell that new person to eat? So pitch some of your food menus for them.
Just what I told Bree. Get the ribs.
Get the ribs.
But you can't go wrong with a sampler. You get 3 meats, 2 sides. So you can't go wrong. You get to sample it. But I promise you have the best ribs in Kentucky. And I'll back that up.
I'm a big fan of the loaded tater tots.
A lot of people, the loaded tater tots and the loaded waffle fries are very popular too. But it's all good.
Right.
It's all good. So,
Well, Papa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
this
brother.
morning.
Yeah, just want to, our phone number is 270-699-2321. Call us anytime, takeout, curbside. We do some delivery. So DoorDash, we do DoorDash. We do business delivery. I go to Springfield, I go to here in Lebanon. So, don't hesitate to call me if you can't get here to get it. If you don't want to go with the DoorDash, call me. I'll bring it to you. So,
and you can always hit G&G up. Big Papa is one of our sponsors, and we'll make sure that we got phone numbers and everything for you. So if you can't find it, didn't catch the number, send us a message on G&G, and we'll send you a link. And Matt, let's post his website off our G&G page. So, Papa, again, thank you for having us this morning.
brother.
We appreciate it.
Yeah,
again,
man.
Once again.
Anytime y'all come back and see us.
We absolutely will. We'll get that scheduled. So we want to thank everybody for joining us. Coach Bramblett, Coach Elder, everybody for joining us this morning for the Saturday Morning Coach Show. That's going to do it for us. We will be back next week. The boys will be back. We'll have Coach May Stallworth and Coach Stevie Woodson, and we'll talk boys basketball. And we're going to do that from the Manimal Elite Training Center on Highway 55 in Springfield. Be joined, Hal will be back, and he'll kind of line me out after this morning and coach me and let me know what I need to improve on. But we want to thank Sean Allen and Matt Smith for being over here, and I've got to thank Ann Presley, my little she's played my assistant this morning, and has done a great job. So we want to thank everybody for joining us. Back next Saturday. Our next broadcast will be on Friday night as Washington County travels to Thomas Nelson for a district game. Girls play at 6. Boys will follow at 7:30. You'll be able to catch that live on G&G. So have a good weekend. Thank you for joining us. Have a safe travels.
This has been the G&G production of the Saturday Morning Coaches Show. a full court discussion of Washington and Marion County basketball. The Saturday Morning Coaches Show is brought to you by Ram Construction, Farmers National Bank, Jesse Insurance, Lebanon Tourism, and Citizens National Bank. The Saturday Morning Coaches Show, a presentation of G&G Productions.